Hey, real quick, shout out to all my Belarusian viewers out there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and morons, welcome to Once Human, a free-to-play survival MMO shooter. What? That sounds like a lot of genres just melted together. Anyways, I know I'm probably super late to this video because everyone's talking about this game, and by the time I upload this, no one's gonna care. But if you are wondering why I specifically have 20 hours as the goal, it's because according to some sources on Google, it takes around 20 hours to be proficient at something / to learn something. So in this video, me and Ezzu will be subjecting ourselves to this eldritch world to hopefully learn and fully understand the fundamental systems of Once Human. Cue the end screen. Alright, starting off the video with a server decision, and we chose to play on a PvE server so we could get a feel for the game without having to worry about other players. And after having just a little too much fun in the character creator, oh my god, what is that? The game eventually taught us how to gather materials, craft, and eventually fight the tutorial boss. And spoiler alert, he didn't really fight back if I'm being honest, he just kind of stood there and took the arrows like a bitch. After defeating the tutorial boss, we flew into the main world and started to build basic stuff and get familiar with the menus. This is very interesting. Instead of a skill tree, it's a build tree. Next up, we did a couple of beginner missions, and so far the game feels alright. Nothing to hate, but nothing to love either. Well, maybe except for how our character executes dialogue.
Huh?
Oh my god.
We really couldn't afford some voice lines here.
Or just don't give this animation, please.
They already made the animation for talking. You just couldn't give them some voice lines.
We did a couple more quests, and eventually we got our first vehicle that automatically plays classical music when you put the keys in the ignition for whatever reason.
And there's music playing. Hope it's not copyrighted.
Why is there music playing?
It's like seriously opera music. Before exploring dangerous areas, build a campsite nearby. Your campsite can serve as a temporary spawn point.
Is that what all of these tents are?
Wow.
Look at all the campsites.
Where are you at?
Freaking music. Oh, there is classical music radio. What else is in this game? What is this radio? Oh my god. Ooh, I like this song. These Chinese tunes are really popping. Oh man, FM 107.2 has my jams. I know it's probably really stupid to give this much screen time for the radio station system, but I promise I'll explain the significance of this later. But for now, we decided to do these small little map completion tasks, and I'm not gonna say that we're the dumbest players of all time, but this took us over 40 minutes to complete. I'm just saying.
Oh man, I wonder how long it's gonna take us to find these things.
Yeah. I guess this is the map completion for this.
Oh wait, there, I see it. I see it.
This is like an ancient book.
Is there something in here that we need to find?
Oh, that has to be it right there. That's gotta be it. Oh my god, what the heck? He looks really cool. Going down, sucker. I do no damage to him. Well, I'm gonna bring him over to you.
He's so fast.
He's
like a
really
titan.
fast.
All right.
Yeah. I got a paintbrush. I thought I found something, but it just turned out to be yellow boots, so never mind.
Here's your ripple in space time. It's yellow.
Oh my god.
We did it. We explored the map.
After looking at the same zone for 40 minutes and successfully burning that same image onto my retinas, we finally decided to pick up where we left off on the main mission. And the only thing we had left to do was to kill the big bad boss himself. I really like these first-person animations.
Oh, his gun fell. Wait, can I use that?
Oh, yeah, try that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're using it.
Okay, come get it. Yeah, you hold F here. Hold
Here
that guy.
This is kind of cool.
Ow.
We got him!
Yeah!
After killing the boss, we got our loot, talked to this lady, and went back home to collect our thoughts on this game so far.
I'm 50-50 on this game. There are things that I don't like.
I like base building in games, like I like crafting, I like doing all this stuff. It's not trying to be a traditional MMO or anything, it's just trying to be its own thing. That's why it has the different systems in it, which I think works for its uniqueness. But the systems, they're unique, but they're questionable. I don't know, maybe because we're just early in the game, but everything just kind of feels like it can be solved really easily. To save you guys a couple minutes of yapping, my biggest issue in the game as of day one of playing is that the survival mechanics aren't tough. Easy access to food and water make managing the bars a non-factor and not a threat to your average Joe Schmo. Now, is this a valid piece of criticism? I wouldn't say so. After finishing the 20 hours, it's obvious at this point that the survival features feel like they weren't supposed to be a huge threat, but a small mechanic to keep players on their toes, as a depletion in these bars would cause your character to have a negative side effect that can ultimately reduce the fun quality of your experience.
Unreal 5 jiggle physics in 30 seconds.
You guys remember that one SpongeBob episode where Squidward teleports to a bunch of different time periods in the Krusty Krab's freezer? That's kind of what this next quest is basically about.
A place where I can be all. N-word.
This teleports us to a different realm where we basically fight a teaser trailer version of the boss we're supposed to fight later on. After completing the mission, me and Ezzu focused on separate goals for the time being. I wanted to get new clothes, and Ezzu was moving his base to a better building zone. Oh my god, what the... What the heck was that? I think that looks pretty good. After slaughtering 5 generations of deers, I finally decided to do the main quest for the new zone. And this is where technically my first negative comes from: the questing. Don't get me wrong, it's not god-awful, but it's not interesting either. The questing goes as such: get introduced to a new area, fight a teaser trailer version of the boss you'll fight later on, a character tells you to go touch 4 to 5 rift anchors, each of which are pretty dispersed throughout the new area, fight the real version of the boss, and rinse and repeat for the rest of the areas. This is where the radio comes in handy because you'll be doing a lot of traveling, and the radio actually numbs the boredom just ever so slightly. Well, what's the issue? Sounds like the game just wants players to explore different areas and unlock points of interest. In my opinion, the game is the funnest when you're fighting a boss or just fighting random mobs. The building, crafting, and gathering is also not bad either. But when you're in the early game and the game basically forces you to stop doing the fun things to go touch bus stops, each of which are a fair distance apart, the flow goes from a pretty smooth experience to a slightly bumpy one. Anyways, after doing this quest, Ezzu decided to make a hive, basically a guild, so we can build on the same plot together.
No, fight to hive. So you need to join the hive.
Okay, just making sure that's the name of it.
Oh, what's the name of it?
Nah, nothing. All right, I'm in here.
Okay. See if you can build anything.
Oh my god, we did it!
There we go, we did it.
Afterwards, we got prepared for the upcoming boss fight and proceeded to get absolutely destroyed by this guy. Oh, remaining time. We have 120 seconds to attack him.
Oh, they grab you?
Oh, shoot. I guess we just keep going and going and going. Oh, his weak spot is on his top of his head. Okay. Actually, dude, I think we were better off just staying up there than down here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, oh god. Oh my god. Okay, this guy's actually kind of tough.
We bug it.
I'm dead. Suck it.
I'm dead again.
So bad. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Oh my god.
They have to be inspired by Remnant from that boss. That definitely felt like a Remnant boss. Eventually, Ezzu hopped off the game, and I was gathering resources for a couple of hours to prepare for the next attempt. 2 days in, and what do I think of the game now? Well, my biggest complaint so far was the questing. I get why activating rift anchors are important, it shows off the map to newer players and makes them explore new grounds, I understand that. But it doesn't make the process interesting. I suggest that maybe killing a special enemy or a special event should take place in order for you to activate one rift anchor. And if this were to happen, maybe reduce the overall amount of rift anchors a player should need to activate, maybe just to like 3, not 5. That way, activating one of these is more engaging and it doesn't make you feel like you're just hopping from one town over to the next.
Got a house music, hot doom 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 doom, hot doom 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 doom.
Good morning everyone, and after about 3 hours of getting resources last night, we upgraded our guns and ammo to hopefully get a better attempt at the boss than last time.
Is he down?
Oh! We have 5 seconds left.
I know, I'm trying. At least get her past half. Oh, I'm getting
Alright, that was good, that was good, that was good. We did good damage there. Come on. Yeah!
Wait,
Take
yeah.
that. That was so much easier than last time. After defeating this boss, we did the typical mission loop that I talked about on the previous day. But when we were fighting the off-brand version of the next boss, I noticed something. Not really doing much. That's what I'll say about this game. The bosses are cool. You just need to do a little more. It's undeniable that the bosses we've already fought have been impressive on a visual scale. However, when it comes to their attacks, they lack some variety. They all usually have that brief second of immunity, and in order to break that immunity, we have to go destroy little things that the boss spawns. And in terms of basic attacks, they only have 2 to 3 moves. I'll talk about this more on the end of the day like I usually do, but for now we spend the entire day interacting with those rift anchors and getting ready for the real spider boss.
You're just jealous about my drip.
What is this?
Is this nigga serious?
Oh. Well, we have 1 bar down.
Oh, brother.
2000 años más tarde.
Clear the spider eggs.
That's freaking scary.
15 minutos después.
I don't think we can do this.
I don't think we can do this.
Do you want to exit?
Yeah, I kind of want to also save ammo here.
Yeah, I'm exiting. I hear the dungeon.
After nearly spending 10 minutes on a boss that we just barely moved into the next phase of, we decided to prepare again. Only this time, instead of being severely underleveled and probably doing the right thing, aka actually leveling up to a more reasonable number to even get a chance to fight the boss, we just got carried by randoms.
Hey,
yeah,
we did it. I love that our guild name is right under our team, our squad thing.
Oh my god, I didn't even see that. That is... Oh, I don't want to show my face here ever again.
Whenever we join a squad, that's it. That's who we are.
We're never doing group content ever again.
No,
We're not doing that again. So after that boss fight, Ezzu logged off and I continued to gather for a couple of more hours and eventually logged off as well. Alright, we're 3 days in, what's the issue now? The criticism for today was the lack of movesets for boss fights. Looking back on this, I actually don't think it's a big issue. The real problem here is when the boss just stands there and lets you wail on it for a couple of seconds. And it's not due to the fact that you've simply weakened it or anything, but the boss just decides to stand there and do nothing. My suggestion would be to make the boss move more and attack more. The spider boss is a good example of this. They were constantly moving or jumping, making the fight more engaging. Applying this formula for the previous and upcoming bosses and it'll make the fights feel more alive rather than just a big target with big health. Alright, so day 4 is 100% a filler day. Okay, hold on.
Aquella misma noche.
We spent maybe 3 hours just gathering stuff and sitting around the base. Actually, that's not true. We saw the bus creature thing and got the loot that was in him, so that was you know, that was pretty fun. And oh yeah, we fought the spider boss again to get some acid, which was oh yeah, that's right. Hold on, acid. That's right, acid. So one of the biggest issues we have with the game is acid, an incredibly vital resource that's used to make ammo, ingots, and probably some other stuff in the late game. Now, some of you who have already played this game might think that this is a ridiculous statement and we're just being unreasonable. And to be honest, I kind of agree with that. By the way, this is the end of the day. Nothing else happened, so we're just gonna skip to the final day in a second, but I just want to get this out first. We were kinda blinded by how easy the grind has been so far that now once we've reached the big grinding threshold, it's all of a sudden bad and too much. Every survival game has this moment in time where you need to go grinding for hours for one type of resource to make you stronger. And as someone who spent tens of hundreds, maybe even thousands of hours in survival games, I'm kind of ashamed that I didn't recognize that as soon as I did. And it's not like it's an extremely painful process to get acid either, just kill enemies over and over and over again. Is it boring? Sure. Is it grindy? Absolutely, but what survival game isn't? This day starts off with an introduction to Phase 2. Every time a phase change happens, a world event takes place, which obviously meant we had to go check that out.
Ravenous
What the
hunter.
heck is happening? Do we just shoot at these guys until like something happens, or I don't know what's going on. Use close defense turrets. Yeah, it's all just turret stuff.
I think it's supposed to come down here, but he's stuck.
Biomass cannon. It's tier 4. That's what you need.
There you go. And how many biomass?
Well, I don't even know what the frick biomass is.
We did it. We failed.
We failed, we did it. Okay, well that's not at all what I expected this event to be. Difficulty, low deviant difficulty, one of the entry level scenarios for once human. I kind of beg to differ. Let's just move on from that, yeah? Alright, let's move on. Since we're in phase 2 of the game, the rest of the zones are fully open to play, which means it's time to do the exact same questing loop that we've been doing for the, what is this, the 4th time, I think? However, this time it's slightly different because there's actually a different mission in the zone. Check it out. Oh my god. It's like the green backrooms. Alright. All my time playing those Roblox horror game backrooms games. The skill comes into- whoa! That skill comes into play now. Okay, there's one. Oh wait, he's right here. Alright. Yes! World record, baby. After an actual interesting mission, it's time to fight the real version of this zone's boss.
Oh, I'm doing a lot of damage to him.
Yeah, me too.
I have static.
Did a lot of damage to me. Oh my god, I can't dodge that.
Hit his shoulders.
Oh, that was huge. Yeah, we got him. That was a lot easier than I thought. Oh man, I did nothing.
Oh.
So, 20 hours later, and a video that should have been made a lot sooner, but of course I'm a lazy piece of shit. What do I think about Once Human? Actually, you know what? I'll do you guys one better. If I had to describe Once Human in 2 words, it would be, it's aight. There are a few things that I liked and disliked about the game and somewhere in between. But instead of talking about the pros and cons, because to be honest, that's kind of boring. I mean, I can show you what they are. They're right here, but again, they're not very interesting. I want to talk about the 2 things that people dislike the most about this game and try to eventually come to common grounds, aka you guys tell me I'm wrong in the comment section. Nah, but seriously though, I'm open for a discussion, so feel free to disagree. Alright, first and foremost, and probably the #1 biggest turnoff for the game, the seasonal wipes. Now this could just be me, so bear with my ignorance for a second here, but after thinking about it for a while, this isn't a super big deal. Every survival multiplayer game has essentially server wipes that happen every now and again to keep servers fresh and to not have the entire map just filled with player buildings and random crap. And in those games, you pretty much lose everything, and in terms of content, it stays relatively the same. Not only is Once Human pretty generous with what you're going to keep versus what you're not going to keep, but to top it all off, you're getting new content. Maybe resets don't work with this style of game, or maybe it's just the fear of losing everything in 6 weeks, or it's... Actually, that might be it right there. Maybe to me it's not a big deal because I'm used to server wipes and starting fresh every month or less in survival games, but since this game kind of has like a core MMO audience, it's yeah, actually, you know what, that makes sense now. Yeah, that makes sense. Moving on from that, this next point is something that I actually kind of agree with, and it's the fact that this game does not feel like an MMO. For a multiplayer game, I barely interacted with any other players besides Ezzu and the randoms that joined our party. I feel like this game doesn't have a sense of community and it doesn't really incentivize player interaction. It feels so weird seeing that this is the 5th most played game on Steam and I barely saw anyone else throughout this 20-hour video. And honestly, I feel like this game could thrive off of random interactions, maybe more interactive and player-dependent world events or dungeons or player shops. Just something that makes me feel like I'm a part of the world and not feel like I am the world, if that makes sense. And to be honest, when I was like reading some Steam reviews for the game, those are like the 2 biggest things that popped up, and of course there's the occasional oh my god my privacy kind of a review, but I think somebody has already solved that issue like 2 days after the game was released, so I don't think there's a point in covering that here. Well, that's about it. I had fun with Once Human, and I don't think it's a terrible game, nor do I think it's an incredible game. And if I have to give one word of advice to people who haven't played this game yet, it would be to please, for the love of God, play with multiple friends. It'll make grinding so much easier and you'll progress much faster. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. Shoutouts to Ezzu for being in this video and severely outdamaging me in every single boss fight. And oh yeah, I almost forgot. Thank you for 3,000 subs. You guys are absolutely insane and I really appreciate the support. Seriously though, it means a lot. I might not show it, but it really means a lot. Thank you. Anyways, thank you for watching.